बीच में आ जाओ भाई माहेश्वरी भाई।
हाँ भाई छावा, मतलब जीतना ही था यार हमने तो, है ना।
जीतना ही था भाई, ये तो मतलब
हाँ,
ये तो ऑब्वियस है, क्या है,
मैंने तो
टाइटल
मैच भी
रेस
नहीं
हाथ
देखा।
में थी हमेशा।
और
भाई
अभी
आज
मैंने तो
मैंने
मैच
तो
भी नहीं देखा।
मैच भी नहीं देखा।
क्या बोलते हैं,
तो जीतना तो
फॉर्मल
है ही।
शर्ट भी पहना हुआ है बिकॉज इट वाज अ प्रोफेशनल मैच, प्रोफेशनल गेम।
प्रोफेशनल, एग्जैक्टली। बिल्कुल ऐसा लग रहा है प्रीमियर लीग रेफरी होता है, बिल्कुल वैसी फीलिंग देगा देख के इसको।
और जो, अगर तू इतना
हम्म।
हंस क्यों रहा है, हाउ कैन यू स्माइल लाइक दिस आफ्टर लूजिंग अ गेम?
34 games, one loss, man. If that is also not allowed, then तो क्या ही फिर।
अभय जोगेकर, लिवरपूल has only lost to two North London teams. Just
हाँ,
put
right.
things into perspective.
And one game which was actually fair to lose. दूसरा वाला तो
Oh
हमको पता
my
ही है।
God. Again, as Rajesh mentioned, at the end, it's the result that shows in the table. But
वो
yeah,
तो
the
है।
table topper, that also shows on the table. Correct.
टेबल के बारे में एक दो हफ्ते तक फिलहाल हमसे कोई कुछ नहीं बोल सकता।
But City is coming, man. You can
हाँ।
breathe properly until City comes.
Uh,
But still,
this is the third time. This is the third time we are in this Tavala title race. ठीक है, we know that you cannot breathe when City is just behind you. You cannot even give them 1 point. But that's the problem. It's almost unrealistic. You have to have this almost unrealistic standards. You have to maintain that kind of standard. Or Arsenal know it better than us that if you lose like if you make 3 or 4
How
draws,
is
you'll
it
be like 5 points
unrealistic if a
behind.
team is already doing it?
actually, I had a prediction that City might not be
You
that.
can do it when you break like 115 charges. So that's how it goes.
I think I was mentioning that City, yeah, this time City won't be that ruthless or something, but it seems like other teams are much more inconsistent than what City is this season. So again, they are like presenting, gift wrapping it for City to take it home this time as well.
Yeah.
How come this, see how like कितना पोकर फेस बना के बैठा है भाई, एंजॉय कर ले थोड़ा सा।
हाँ भाई, मतलब सही में कुछ,
No,
मतलब
but
he's overdoing it
okay.
now.
Yeah,
Okay,
here's the
before you
thing,
start,
right?
so welcome everyone to Beyond Injury Time. We just started up abruptly a little bit, but yeah, we are going to talk about the Liverpool Arsenal game from yesterday. I mean, uh, probably a good game, end to end stuff. Ended quite nicely. Couple of mistakes here and there, but yeah, uh, we have representations, of course, and we are going to talk about it at
The
length.
BIT clash.
So yeah,
Yeah, I
since
think
it was a home game at the Emirates, I will start with Maheshwari, of course, as per our rituals. Yeah, go ahead, man. We've been maintaining that poker face for far too long now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big win, man. Big win. And to be fair, there have been two teams which wherein we have absolutely been thrashed out, or we have already always lost or not gathered much points. Those two teams have been City and Liverpool. So this season we have taken points from them, right? So it for us it was basically a 6 pointer, because we were where we were during the Christmas period, and then we fell down like there was no, it was like a bottomless pit, and we were just going down. So it's good to come back. But I also understand that Liverpool did not have Salah, and for in a normal match probably it wouldn't have made much of a difference, but against Arsenal, right, those trend balls to Salah always make a huge difference. Always. That's said and done. I mean, to win against the juggernauts that Liverpool are, with their current form, it was huge boost for us that way. And yeah, overall, I was really happy with how we won. As in we won. I was happy about that. But if you look through the matches, in spite of us dominating them, we were dominating them, and the XG shows, the stats show. But when you look at them, you realize that you give them one chance, just one chance, they come biting back at you. And my in spite of the win, it felt like we have a bozo gene in ourselves, wherein we are like, oh, you know what, we are winning. Let's give them a chance, because the goal they scored, it wasn't even a shot on target, for heaven's sake. Do you understand, right? It wasn't even a shot on target, and in case a bozo movement wouldn't have occurred on their end, there was a high chance it could have been a draw. Very, very high chance. That just shows that probably, it's not a nice thing to say, but probably Arsenal as a team, lack a bit of character. I shouldn't be saying that, but that's what it is. You're cruising, and the first half is going to end, and then you do that.
Yeah.
What was that? You're cruising. You're literally cruising. And I also would like to point out, like, in the very very early moments, right? Konate and Martinelli were in a foot race. Martinelli with the ball, right? And he took Konate on like it was nothing. I mean, it wasn't nothing, but he did take him on. He put in a great cross, and Saka missed that header. And I was like, what is happening? You can't do that against Liverpool, right? And when I look back at that, and then I look at the cities and the Liverpools, and I'm like, these lot would have buried that for sure, irrespective of who was there. Jota, Diaz, probably not Nunes. Yeah, probably not Nunes. But anybody other than that. And then I'm looking and I'm thinking, it's those little movements. This time we got away with it. But in the previous matches after during the Christmas and whatnot, we did not get away with it. And that still bugs me, that still bugs me, because there have been matches where we have created ample amount of chances, but we just can't seem to finish. Even in this match, we underperformed the chances that we created. But that's said and done, winning against Liverpool feels like a huge sigh of relief, almost as the coming of Arsenal, because here's the thing, we haven't won against them in the league for a long time, long time. And irrespective of the fact that they did not have the best players and the most informed players, it still is a win against Liverpool. And after what Jurgen Klopp had just said just a few days back about his last season and whatnot, and the motivation that probably the players had and the fans had, it just seems so huge. But you got to understand that even when we were 2-1 up, we weren't celebrating. That just shows the amount of fear that Liverpool has in our fans as well, because our fans were, they were shouting and whatnot, but they were not like, we have won it, right? It's only after the third goal went, and that too in 90 plus minutes, we were like, we have won. That just goes to show the kind of threat Liverpool has. And mind you, it was not a good game from Liverpool. And I think my friend here would agree to that. It wasn't a good game, right? So those are my 2 cents on it. That said and done, I would like to gloat over the fact that Liverpool conceded the highest XG against Arsenal, so we did create enough. It wasn't like it was a fluke or something. We did create enough.
His obsession with XG.
Because here's the thing, when I judge managers, usually I judge it based on that. So my problem with Arsenal has been, we create enough, we just do not finish. And when you're not finishing enough, please buy a finisher, right? Please buy a finisher. Also, another player that I would like to point out is Kai Havertz. I have realized this guy, this motherfucker, he just needs to play in the big games and as a false 9. That's it. Because anywhere else, he pisses me off so bad. It's crazy. Even the shot that he took, it felt like such a feeble attempt when Saka finished it off, right? Such a feeble attempt. Like, there is the goal. Do something. Put in some power. Put in something. He hits at the goalkeeper, bro. At the goalkeeper. वो तो Saka side में था, ले लिया, मार लिया, नहीं तो gone, no? Like, I don't know, but I do understand that his height does cause a bit of problems, and he मतलब thoda sa he can get under the player's skin, as we clearly saw. I mean, he's a player, when he gets under the other player's skin, you kind of enjoy it because he's in your team. But even when you're supporting him, you're like, bro, you could do something more than that other than just get under a player's skin or something.
I was talking to Rajesh ke Arsenal needs a finished article, and I think Howard is finished article.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
I
God.
mean, if I have to ask you, like, the one thing that Arsenal you feel will miss, or maybe the difference between you winning the title and not winning the title, what would that be? That one thing.
I mean, till now,
Tony.
I do believe we have missed a good finisher. As in, when I say good finisher, I mean an elite finisher. Like, the likes of a Salah or a Haaland,
But
wherein
maybe Arsenal will end up doing something that City did for a couple of seasons, right? Winning that league title without a striker.
no. The difference is, you see, they have got 115 charges levied against them because of the other players they have bought. Please understand. All right. It's like one player
And
goes off, a second world-class player is coming in.
I'll try
We
my
do
best
not have
to
that thing.
I'll try my best to get a City fan here. I mean, seriously,
I have a
this
person.
group badly
Hey,
needs.
what is he going to say? We have 100 million guys sitting on a bench, but we are so
हाँ
sad
ये
about
भी
it.
है
What is that?
हाँ ये भी है because City fans are mostly going to be not that many years old, so he's going to say like,
Yeah,
yeah man, I'm cool with it.
exactly.
Let's go.
पैसा
No,
पैसा
but
है, जलो
you
मत
got to
हमसे.
understand, it's a oil state backed team, bro. Like, मतलब उनके sponsorship भी बने हुए हैं, and the last time also they got away with it. They didn't get away with it. They just said, "अच्छा, this is the penalty we pay. Let's get away with it."
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
time, also the last time they got away with it with the cast, it was just the time period had taken place
time frame.
was too
Yeah,
long. They got away on that technicality. ये नहीं था कि हमने कुछ गलत
yes,
नहीं किया है. It wasn't that.
yep.
It was like,
I,
oh,
I
10
guess
to
they're
15
going to
million pounds.
get away, or
You take it.
maybe max ये होगा. I feel कि there may be some sort of transfer ban that Chelsea,
We
Barca
can
have
we
also suffered.
can
Okay, okay.
we can do the
On that
City
note,
No,
fan
I genuinely
they'll
believe,
find out a way. They have so many clubs all over the world. They'll buy with that club and
They'll
they'll
find
loan
it.
it back.
but
These are like crazy
but
things
when
they
it
do.
comes to transfer bans, I just feel you should never ban Chelsea in transfers. करने दो भाई, अपने आप उड़ाएंगे
अपने
अपनी भाई.
हाँ
वो
Self
मार्केट
self
उठाते हैं,
destruction.
वो लोग मार्केट उठाते हैं पैसा जमा करके कि हाँ चलो बाकी लोग भी कर लें.
So
We are
so
coming to
I know
I
we are
just
talking
want
about
to
Arsenal. You got to
interject.
understand, Chelsea was 1 billion pounds in debt. All right,
Yeah.
when Roman was leaving, even a lot more, and they wiped it off. They were like they wrote it off. अभी उन्होंने 1 बिलियन
वापस
पाउंड
spend
और
किया.
स्पेंड कर दिया.
हाँ.
And भाई कैसे? And look where they are. And look where they are. And I'm like, भाई इनको और पैसा
Unbelievable,
दो.
man.
They will burn the
Unbelievable.
club
Yeah,
into
man,
the
serious.
ground bench.
But yeah, not deviating from the topic, but I guess Joga, I'm thinking Abe Jogekar for the first time, at least he is not waiting to speak. not he's not that much eager. He's been calm, but I will
I
still ask his opinion about how the game went. What are your
I
thoughts,
mean,
man?
we played better, man, because
I just have to say this thing that Maheshwari is not a representation of Arsenal fans on Twitter. Arsenal fans on Twitter are cocky as fuck. Okay, you are way too grounded when I don't even like. I had like 10 more things to say against you and all that stuff. I can't say anything now because you were too grounded and you were too what do you say uh, realistic with like your assessment. So like that's that. And like on the game, this is one of those games, where you cannot really complain. From start to finish, we just did not play better. Like what else do I even say? The only time when I thought that we actually had a good spell was when the second half just started, till the point we gave the goal away. Okay, this was the game where for the whole game, basically, we struggled to find our rhythm. I know why that happened, but still, for first half, we had nothing. That goal came out of nothing. Seriously, like out of nothing. The only reason we scored that goal was because Luis Diaz was just persistent. Like he just wanted to get something on the ball and he got it, and somehow the ball went inside the goal.
It
But
was an own goal.
at yeah, but in the till when the half actually we went into the break, and the thought was that just haven't played. It's not about better. We just haven't played anything at all. We are not just able to find that rhythm, and we are not able to stop Arsenal. They just played better, man. And I think I won't say that we were at our best. Obviously, we were nowhere near our best, but that has nothing to do with them, obviously. So they had a game to play. They played better than us on that on our day. And I think the problem that was, and that we always was going to be, was that we were going to miss Salah. And this game showed it very, very well. See, we have our injuries, okay, and we have like we have had our injuries. Our left backs were out, and Salah has been out for like quite a lot of time. But somehow, not somehow, I mean, we have players who can manage it, and we were able to somehow manage it till this particular point. But this game basically showed that if you take out informed players, like the team that played against Chelsea, this team had one, two, three, four people, I think, which were not in that particular team. Soboslai got injured. Trent came in, which should be a good thing, but in this case, it wasn't. uh, Gomez was there, I think. Okay, Robertson was not playing, so Gomez was there. That is fine. Salah obviously was out. That's a different thing. But the thing was that from the start, the best thing about us in Chelsea was that our midfield was fantastic, and that was the worst thing in this particular game against Arsenal. That our midfield, which specifically that right side, it just never clicked from end to end. It just never clicked. From Trent to just like he just came back from the injury, and he like this feeling I had from the start that our complete team is out of it. Like nobody seemed like that their head is in the game, and Trent was just floating a little bit more than that we would like him to be. Gravenberch was just not doing that kind of um, uh, that running and that he was not playing with that intensity that we basically expect from that particular position. When Soboslai plays, he just plays like he plays like to and fro in the pitch, and that right side was completely dead. And because that one thing was off, McAllister was just not able to find that pass. He was just not able to see that movement. Nunez was not playing, and this is the kind of game that actually shows that when you don't have him, the game is completely different. Like his movement enough causes like that terror in the back line of the opposition team, that the other team members are able to move in certain way, and then we are able to pass, like take the ball forward. And that was not happening because our front line was static, our midfield was static. It was just horrible game to see in the first half. But I was very positive, quite honestly. I was very positive, and specifically when we actually somehow scored, when the momentum shifts, we do our best in that particular time. Like you should be scared of Liverpool when the goal is scored. And we could see when we came back from the halftime, we were just in, like we were in the moment. If we scored at that particular point, Arsenal probably could have lost. I mean, that's how much it actually matters, that particular momentum. But it was their home game. I mean, I'm not going to be too overconfident here. Going to Arsenal was always going to be difficult. But that we had that particular momentum going. And then uncharacteristically, the one who has saved us, like in so many situations, has done a mistake. And
Yes,
believe me,
yes.
nobody could believe that. Nobody could believe that. When
The
I
world's best goalkeeper
And
the world's
world's
best
best
goalkeeper,
defender.
and
the
world's best centre back as well. Yeah.
and the worst best center back as well. I'm not even going to take even a single like single criticism against them on any other day. And even today, like we allow them a mistake, obviously. But seeing that mistake from Allison was completely uncharacteristic. And uh, for the rest of the game, Allison was just not himself. Just take it like that. I could see that he was rattled. He was a little bit sluggish after that. Maybe because now you've seen him make a mistake, you feel like that. Maybe it's just that kind of effect. But like that last goal that he conceded, on any other day, he doesn't concede that. Okay. So it was just an off game. And
Amit is
Very eager.
लोहा गरम कर रहा है, so yeah, man, fire your shots.
I have just one question that see,
Just one.
normally in past a lot of years we have seen that that halfway Klopp does in midway 45 minutes he does some magic. He puts some
right, yeah.
spells on the 11 players and it completely changes everything, right? And I think everybody hoped that 1-1 pe if you're going and you're not playing good, so after 45 minutes something would change. And maybe it did not work this time. Maybe it was because of the uncertainty of Klopp leaving or the body language you were talking about, right? That you're not, Liverpool team was not the same, right? Which you have been
Yeah.
following. So does it all turns out to be because of this uncertainty that has been caused because of that Klopp news?
And I don't think so. I mean, not at all, I would say. The thing is that, as you said, I also hope second half will be better, and which was better. I expected some substitution to happen, Nunez to come on, happened. Gravenberch to go off, happened. Did not expect to actually Trent to go off because we needed that outlet for some reason. He got off. I mean, he probably, I think, he was not completely
Precautionary.
fit. Precautionary in Conor Bradley. Actually, if okay, to our audience, just one of the things that I would like to mention is that Conor Bradley sadly lost his father, and because of that, he was not able to play. So obviously,
Lost his
from
father.
all
He
of the
himself is saying.
just out of just nothing. I mean, it's completely sad news, and it was shocking, and I think whole club supported him in that, obviously. So he was not able to play. If he was available, he would have played for sure, because Trent, it seems like he's just not back for the whole game.
Correct.
And after, for I think he had 50-60 minutes in his tank, and once he got that substitution, I did not expect. But once that substitution happened, our backline basically, that outlet is gone from our backline. But but I think the other substitution, Harvey Elliott and Nunez, both of the substitutions were good, and we were going into the game. And I expected, see, we basically, the whole team crumbled once we conceded the second goal, and we just couldn't come back from that. But let's just say that if that mistake did not happen, the game would have ended better. The game would have, like, we would have gone into the game. Arsenal was playing already. They were already playing better. Maybe we wouldn't have won it. Maybe we would have drawn it. I do not really sure. We wouldn't have completely played really well, because we were not having a good game anyway. But it has happened, like in this whole like in this in the other matches as well, that in first half we haven't played well, and in second half we have played well. But the substitutions did not work because we also had people out. So you also need people to substitute in. We did not have people to substitute in. So that's also a problem. So this is a specific problem for this particular game. But Klopp going, I don't think, like, the mentality of these players is just too strong, man. These are season professionals. Like Van Dijk is a fantastic captain, and other people. We have a lot of senior experience in this particular team. So Klopp going is not going to have a negative effect, and actually is going to push them to give him a send off that he deserves, because these guys just love him too much. Like from fans also, we have the same kind of feeling that we want Klopp to have such a nice goodbye. So players will also have the same thing. They are very close to the manager, and obviously there is no negativity, if that's what you're thinking. And this is, for me, this is a one-off game. So you are seeing me smiling a little bit, even though we have lost, right? There is this 1 point creeping gap that we have left for Man City, which they can come now and they can take the top spot. But I'm not feeling bad, because I knew that you can have these kind of games and you cannot do anything about this. So we just had a bad day, and it's not going to continue. I'm sure we're going to come back stronger.
We
from
saw
this.
the thumbs up from Klopp when Konate got the red card. So I mean, like, that is the spirit you are talking about. And I want to ask Abhay on, like, Arsenal fans' perspective. Like, see, I think this match was not like kind of a title decider, so it didn't turn out to be like that. But yeah, we were expecting a lot more action. We didn't see a lot of goal scoring chances. Yes, Arsenal created some chances, but if that gift which Liverpool gave you, as you rightly said, if that hadn't been given you, the game could have been 1-1. I wanted to see a lot more from Arsenal. The other thing what I wanted to ask is, like, when Arsenal was winning and there were very few less minutes on the like scorecard, some of the players were like just falling down. They were like saying, okay, I got hit. Okay, they were like trying to do something which like a Barca team used to do long back.
Yeah,
so what was that all about? Yeah,
The time wasting.
not exactly like that, but maybe Arteta is auditioning for the next Barca manager, maybe or anything of that kind. But yeah,
Lovely.
Came out of nothing.
Going forward, I don't want to see Arsenal doing this, because like Arsenal and City playing, like, okay, Pep Guardiola's players can do it. Okay, we have seen that, but they don't do it now. But yeah, that was something strange from like Arsenal players and Arsenal, because Arteta was like overjoyed when the Trossard scored that third goal. Like he was like jumping, and yeah, that is acceptable because this was a very big game. But was it a tactic or what was it? Like some of the players like trying to do like fall down. Even Havertz did that. Like there was a moment when Van Dijk was going for the ball, and Havertz, all he had was eyes
Oh
on Van
yeah.
Dijk. All he had was
Oh
eyes on Van
yes.
Dijk, and he just like fell down. And then Van Dijk was saying, no, I didn't do anything. And there was
Oh
also
my
one
God.
more
I'm
occasion
so
where something of this sort was happening. So what's your take on that?
yeah.
Like audition for Barca, or what was that?
I completely forgot how furious
First
I
and
was that Harvard's thing, man. Seriously.
no.
Wow.
First and foremost, I would like to say the amount of chances we created, no other team has created against Liverpool. So I categorically disagree with your statement when you said that you did not create enough.
No,
We
I said
created enough.
we
We
created
did not
enough
finish
chances,
enough.
but yeah, that was not clear cut. And
No,
I already said that it was not a game which was like a title challenging game. Like we used to see like last year when we had Arsenal versus City, or like we used to have City versus Liverpool. It was not that kind of game. That's why we didn't find so much of like karo ya maro kind of a thing in this game.
no, but that also has to do with the fact that a few players from the Liverpool team were away. The first teamers, we have a few players away. The AFCON is going on. The
Yeah.
Asian games are going on, right? And so the main players, a few of the main players are not there. Secondly, it's not necessary that if it's a title deciding game or whatnot, that every game has to be a very end-to-end, very physical kind of game. Sometimes the games are more tactical.
it was title deciding. Probably it decided the title will go to City.
I mean, I do not disagree, but if you look at the points table, it seems like all 3 to 4 teams have a good chance at the title. If you look at it that way, also probably if this would have been a little at the fag end of the season, a little more at the fag end of the season, you might see a different kind of intensity also, right? I do not disagree with that.
Yeah,
Secondly,
chronology. We are going by chronology. Arsenal beat Liverpool, then City beat Arsenal, and you know who wins the title.
City beat Arsenal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the chronology.
That was last
City
year,
will. City will is
like,
saying.
No,
City
will.
No,
जब
no,
एतिहाद का मैच बचा है.
Etihad ka match bata hai, but here's the thing: you need to see, like, when I look at it, I'm happy because we are slowly but steadily making progress. Pehle we were like, yeah, come here, just take the points away. Now we are fighting for it. We are also winning it, which is huge.
पर अब
Against City
फुलहैम
also we
वेस्ट
won.
हैम से हार जाते हैं.
Huh?
पर अब
Huh?
फुलहैम वेस्ट हैम से हार जाते हैं.
Yeah. And talking about the fact that some of the players were doing that, yeah, it was a little uncharacteristic.
Question, yeah.
That's true, but you got to understand we haven't won against Liverpool for a long time, right? And अगर हम लोग ये गेम जीतते तो बोलते
that
हैं
doesn't
आर्सेनल
mean you
निकल
fall
गई.
down यार. मतलब ऐसे ये नहीं करने का ना भाई. मतलब for a neutral, I didn't expect this, so that's why
No,
this
you did not expect it, but you need to understand that everybody and the dog thought that Arsenal is going to lose or going to draw, and we were in a situation where we are winning, and we were like, bhai, now that we are winning, let's not mess it up because we messed it up the first half. We should have won in the first half itself.
I am always in favor of that tactic. I'm always in favor. Winning the game, securing 3 points.
You need to understand, we're not playing a West Ham or a Crystal Palace or a Nottingham Forest or something like that. We're playing Liverpool, and they're top of the table. And they're top of the table because that's how their form has been for the entirety of the
100%.
season. And you got to understand that we have not won against them. And finally, when we are in that position, so if you notice, you'll understand that this was something that was done against Liverpool and not the other teams. It's more like you understand the kind of threat Liverpool possesses. It's and I know it's not a good look, but if I'm playing against a Liverpool and City, I'm okay with it, bro. I'm literally okay with it because
the only thing I have is it's a kind of risky situation right now with the PL and the referees.
So
even 1 or 2 years ago, you could have done that and you could have gotten away. Like Darwin Núñez got booked for his reaction towards a foul which was on him. Like it was a clear foul which should have been given. He got the yellow card for that.
You win some, you lose some.
But doing this kind of tactics or antics might get you in trouble. But
someone
might be on 4 yellow cards and 5th yellow card would get him.
But I don't understand when other teams do it. Do you say, oh, that's the dark arts of football? When Arsenal does it, all of a sudden for one game you're like, oh my god, ये लोग क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्या कर रहे हैं? There is no way we can win, right? About the celebration,
Arteta is learning. I would say like that. Arteta is learning.
I'm not sure.
No, I've hated that actually in every team.
He has learned from the best.
I'm going to
He
be
has
against
learned
it.
from the best.
No. Arteta, you
Yeah.
might say they're learning. It's more to do with the fact कि हम लोग कभी जीते ही नहीं है यार. हम जीते ही नहीं है. And now you're in a position and you have already seen कि before when we were attacking, we were trying to do all kind of shit. We conceded a goal, bhai. Once you have seen that, your entire thought process is somehow get the minutes off the clock. That's what you're thinking, right? I did not like it at first. I'll agree to it, but then I realized कि भाई, like beggars can't be choosers. We have never won against them for a long period of time. I just want to win somehow.
No, I also want to add some context to this particular discussion, because what happens is it's Arsenal. Look what happened. What City exactly do, right? If the game is on a deadlock, right? They actually go for a win. But Arsenal, United, maybe Liverpool can or cannot do. I'm not sure exactly. But हम लोग ऐसा team है ना, we will try to secure a point if it's in the dying minutes of the game. You know, if you guys recollect the game which Arsenal won at the Emirates against City, you know, that goal came because City were pushing ahead for a win against Arsenal. It wasn't the other way around. If I remember, that goal came on a counter and a defender made a mistake and shot at goal and मतलब deflection होके अंदर चला गया. Okay. But City were the ones at the Emirates who took the onus to actually win the game. So कैसा है, City with the kind of attacking team that they are and with the mentality that they have and also the quality that they have, they can choose to do that in a game. But कैसा है, if United are playing Liverpool at the moment, City at the moment, same applies to Arsenal. भाई हमको ऐसा है कि अगर टाइटल रेस में रहना है, with especially City and Liverpool breathing down your necks, हमको पॉइंट सिक्योर करना है डार्क आर्ट्स करके. We cannot be like हमको एंज बॉल खेलना है with 9 men. We cannot do that.
See, then this is the way you consider yourself as the underdog of the game, right?
I just had to say it.
Arsenal were ahead. We were ahead.
I feel like that you said the whole thing just so that you can end it on that note.
अपना advertisement हो रहा है, we are fine. बोलते रहो. Ange ball.
On that note, by the way, I've always hated this. Like no matter who, I'm just happy that my team doesn't do it, and I hated when every other team, any other team does it. The only thing that I find a little bit comfort into is that PL has implemented that thing where if you're doing time wasting and doing unnecessary fouling and that kind of stuff, that time gets added at the end of the clock.
Yeah.
So that I mean, on any other day we would make other teams would regret that giving us that kind of time.
Yeah.
But yesterday wasn't our day.
You also need to understand that we were doing it when we were ahead. All right, we were doing it when we were ahead. When we were like 3 point हमारे पास आ गया. Secondly, the other thing that he's saying that they would have punished us, it's true, but it's also about breaking momentum, right? A lot of times it is about breaking momentum also, because I know in my team the players who do it, right? And एक तो Howard's which is true, but sometimes the things he does can annoy the other player a lot to an extent that the other player is sent off. Okay, right. And I also know Ben White does it. Like ये known culprits है, पता है. It's not the entire team. These are the known culprits, and you got to understand it's they're not doing it because they have learned it here or something. उनको पहले से मालूम था.
पहले से ही है. Correct.
It's not being instilled. If it was being instilled, it would have been all along the pitch.
It is obvious कि coaching session में वहाँ field पे अलग से लेके इनको सिखाया नहीं जाता, जैसे
obviously this is
सिखाया जाता था कुछ सालों पहले, किसी गुरु ने ऐसा सिखाया था, ऐसा हुआ है.
Also, I would like to answer the question with regards to Arteta auditioning for Barcelona. He categorically came out and said that what kind of utter nonsense it is. He's very happy here. And he's happy with what he's doing, and he believes there is unfinished business because that's what was asked of him, So that surely is not taking place. And from what I believe, I'm pretty sure he's going to get a new contract. And the new and a lot of people are questioning it and whatnot, but the new contract is more based upon how we are playing, in terms of whether we are dominating teams or we have a chance to win or whatnot. It's not based on ki acha ye position hai. And I've seen this has been happening for quite some time, when I was really pissed off with a position, but our underlying stats said that we were actually decent. So I think hum log finally they have started putting more onus on the metrics of the game, which may or may not be a good thing. You'll never know unless you look into the future.
Bro, I have a
What
very
I hear
One
from
thing,
yeah, Amit,
one
go
thing I
ahead.
do want to mention, by the way, Jorginho had a pretty good game, which I feel like that you do not like the guy, but
गाली
two
दे रहा
people
No,
था,
no,
who you
but
do not like.
इतना गाली.
no, but you got to understand. I do not like Harvards also, but I have to understand. But like,
Yeah.
for that game, he was better than Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus.
Man, he
With
I'm
didn't
not
like
sure, by the
Arteta
way, but
also.
you know, there's one stat
Forget
that
about player.
Harvards lost like one of the most duels on in the match actually.
No,
There's
but
one
that
really
is
negative
also
stat about
because
Harvards.
he attempts so many duels, right? And he's attempting,
Hmm.
and you need to
And lose
understand
all of them.
he's attempting duels with Konate and Van Dijk, right? Secondly, with Jorginho, the thing with Jorginho is you need somebody who is covering ground for him, and Declan Rice was the guy. He was everywhere,
Hmm.
tackling here
Hmm.
and there. You take out Declan Rice and you do make Jorginho sit in that position with Havertz, with the midfield
Hmm.
being Havertz, Jorginho, and Odegaard. We are in trouble. The
भाई ये
reason
तो
why
वही बात हो
Jorginho,
गई ना, हम गोल नहीं मार रहे बट एटलीस्ट नेट के सामने पहुंच रहे हैं. गलत है ना.
no, come again. I couldn't get
No,
it.
no, I
Like,
am just saying कि, I mean, your answer, this answer to Jogekar's question is very similar to you saying that, yeah, we are not finishing the chances, but at least I am happy that we are creating them. But I mean, don't you think it's of a uh, similar argument or a statement?
no, but my thing is very clear. If you do not, to me, it's very simple. If you is creating n number of chances and finishing lesser is sustainable. Clearing lesser chances and always overperforming and finishing chances which weren't even chances, not even
Yeah,
half
I agree.
chances, is not
Yeah,
sustainable,
I
हर
right?
टीम
understand.
हर टीम भगवान भरोसे नहीं चलती ना. यूनाइटेड.
No, I agree
And
to that statement,
It catches up to you, man.
yeah, I agree,
and
100%.
second, I would also like to point out that Jorginho is a good passer of the ball, vertical passer. वो ही था.
Yeah, he's
He's
good.
not the best passer in our team. As in, I still think Partey is a better passer in the team in terms of the way he punches the ball and whatnot.
Doesn't he has to play for that?
Exactly. He's it's like I used to make fun of Thiago, but now I've realized कि घर में ही हमारा
Dude,
बैठा हुआ
yeah,
है.
Thiago. Look,
Guys,
we
I
had
have a
Naby
very
Keita for
good
3 seasons,
question
man.
for Maheshwari actually. I know Klopp
Yeah.
has announced that he's going to leave. That's a sad topic, of course, in itself. But
Yeah.
when that news, I guess a couple of outlets, not reliable outlets per se, but a couple of outlets, when they started reporting that Arteta is being quoted by Barca because Xavi also resigned because he couldn't take the
Yeah.
pressure of the job. But then
Just not
immediately
worth
you
it.
think that, oh my God, if Barcelona are in the market for a manager, there is currently in the world no better fit than Arteta. No better fit, hands down. Because same philosophy, trained by Guardiola, matlab already performing in the Premier League at the highest level, standards are good. Badhiya hai sab kuch. Matlab, I cannot look beyond Arteta for the Barca job. Okay. Now my question to Abhay is, it's a very dicey situation. Now, will you hate him like you did for Van Persie if he leaves for the Barca job?
Van Persie, no, but not actually. And you also, there's a difference. The Arsenal of that time did not have money, right? It was and at this point of time,
Barca
Barcelona does
now
not
has
have that
money.
lure either, right? It does not
No,
have the
they
lure
do.
either. Huh?
They do have the
It's
Madrid
not the
and
same
Barcelona.
Barcelona that we grew up watching. It's not the same. And I would though I would question him, because I'm like, at least give it your best shot once. You've just got there. You've just reached there. Just last year we showed that there is potential for winning the title also. We can give it a shot.
If he wins the title, will you be ready to accept that he leaves, because that unfinished job will be fulfilled this season, and then he moves on to Barca? I guess Arsenal fans would want to be happy.
Then to a certain extent, I can have a little bit of respect for him, because I'm like, theek hai, you did something and then you're leaving.
Yeah, because De Zerbi Vagara can also be linked to the Arsenal job if he leaves.
Yeah. I understand, but it's also about also Arteta is a bit of an honorable man. This I've realized, है ना, थोड़ा सा honorable है, right? So my thing is, if you win and then you're a Cule because he is a Cule and you're a Basque and you want to go, well and good. But now you've just reached and you're like, अब मैं निकल रहा हूँ, bro. You haven't won anything. Right, you win something.
Yeah, you're right. If the thing is that with the situation that Barca are also, the good thing is that if Arteta has a dream of ever managing Barca, he can fulfill it after 5 years also, because Barca are not easily going to be back to the top again. They are going to keep changing managers in the next couple of years or so. So he has that time. It's not like Guardiola is taking over at Barca or something.
And Arteta is a young manager. This is his first job.
Exactly. That is also
this is his first job. It's also about a difference in man to man. Like, so some people would probably jump at it, but you need to understand that even right now, I believe there's a chance that we grow deep into the UCL stage also. As in, he has the opportunity to win something big with the club he's played for in the first team, and that holds true. And he has been supported and backed by the owners out here in Arsenal, even when we were down in the dumps, right? And sometimes that plays into mind ki yaar, even when it didn't work, they were there for me. Not with everyone. Some of them are very opportunistic, and rightfully so, because it's
I want to touch upon that small silly point that you just touched upon and then came back about the UCL chances. So look, I told you, if this Arsenal team faces a Bayern Munich or a Barcelona, I'll hold on to that same statement from the usual group stages that you are going to kill them. But if you are ever going to face a team like Juventus or Madrid, they will kill you. So that's how it is.
I think I see. I would want to face them, right? I would want to face them, but ideally, I would want to face them in a one-off match.
Sorry, my bad. For the watchers, Juventus are not playing in the UCL. They are in the Europa. So let's say if not Juve, I guess Porto or Benfica have qualified from the group stage. Those kind of teams that just wait for one chance to hit you on the counter, they sit back. I guess Arsenal are going to have problems against those kind of teams.
I think that depends on 2 to 3 things. Firstly, what players we have, which is always going to be there. We are finally going to have our fullbacks available, Tomiyasu and Timber. And here's the thing: when it comes to killing those teams, right, we need vertical passes. So we will have to play Jorginho. We will have to play Jorginho or Partey. And Declan Rice needs. The problem is, our wins are contingent on too many players being there. This is my issue, and this has been my issue throughout the season. कि ये होना चाहिए. अरे ऐसे कैसे? In football,
वही तो फर्क है ना, Ange Klopp और Arteta Pep में.
I mean, वो फर्क है, and it's also a difference in the quality of recruitment also. तुम अपने 11 player अच्छे कर लिए, बाकी तुम ठीक नहीं ले रहे, तो तुम्हारी गलती ना. How can you play El Nini यार? उसको कोई नहीं ले रहा club. No club is taking him, and you want to play with him. That is your fault, and you have not recruited well enough. तुम्हारे पास इतना पैसा है, you know it, you recruit better. So here's the thing. With our first 11 available, I am like, हम जीत सकते हैं, हम कुछ भी जीत सकते हैं. But yeah, first 11 कैसे available रहेगा? This is football. Injuries happen, shit takes place, and it's just being overly optimistic. But that's said and done. The magic happens in football, so you never know.
Yeah, let's see about that. But Amit, I'll let you ask a question if you have one. But I have an interesting question for Abhay Jogekar actually, on which I've been sitting on. Do you really think that Harvey Elliott, these two guys have been playing for quite a while now? Harvey Elliott and this guy Curtis Jones, right? They have been well integrated to the squad and everything. Try to be as unbiased as possible here. Do you really think in your heart and mind that these two guys, if they play together one day, can carry the Liverpool midfield? Do you think they are world class in some sense, or they are just players who are really good if they play along with world class players? Or do you think they're actually reached that level or are of that level who can actually play on their own and win games for Liverpool? What do you make of them? Because I've been seeing these two for quite some time and I don't get that feeling. Hence the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Harvey, I feel like he's a lot better from the bench than when he starts.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he has to compete with Salah, so it's never fair to compete with Salah. But even if I don't take that into account, he doesn't bring that much into the game. And in midfield, I feel like I mean, he actually in that particular box, right, he plays really well. He's able to see the passes. He's able to carry the ball a little bit forward. But he doesn't have that punch. He doesn't have that kind of line breaking passing as well. So he's a kind of a guy with whom you can kind of do 1-2 and all that kind of stuff. But I don't see him as somebody who gets introduced and because of him the match changes. I don't see him like that. Same with Curtis. He's not that guy. I mean, I won't expect him to be the guy because of whom we are winning the match, but he's at a lot better level than Harvey is, and Harvey is obviously younger as well, and he has come on late, and Curtis has played with this group for a longer time, and his role is also a little bit different. But Curtis, in what he does it really well. His control over the ball, his positional awareness. See, positional awareness and intelligence is something that you cannot actually see on the football pitch unless you're looking at that particular player. That's it. If you're looking at the whole match, you're not going to notice that guy. He's going to be invisible for you. But if you look at that particular guy, you'll see the way he moves. You'll see the way he holds the ball. You'll see how he's able to maybe carry the ball, pass the ball, look at a pass, and all that kind of stuff. Curtis, I feel like is in a lot better position, and I don't he's not that kind of a flashy guy who's just suddenly going to come and because of him the game has changed. But
recently
he's that guy, who is let's just say if the manager changes, right? And
exactly.
it is going to happen, right?
Yes.
And Curtis is going to be in the team. I at least I hope that there is going to be a position for him.
But because
Harvey Elliott probably not.
is going to be different, and maybe what kind of manager comes, it boils down to their decision. But what I was able to deduce from all this discussion is that when a player actually plays for managers like Klopp or Ange, because sometimes players are by default so industrious and work so hard on a team that it sometimes becomes very difficult to judge a player. जैसे कि एक सिंपल बात बताऊं, एक जॉर्जिनियो will never play in a club team because obviously he doesn't have that kind of physicality or pressing and वो सब नहीं है. But what happens that Jorginho will always be favored by a Pep or a Arteta, like we are seeing.
It's a different team. It's a different team.
Yeah, it's differently. And उनके problems ऐसे intricate वाले managers के साथ ज्यादा दिखते हैं than if a Jorginho or someone plays or any player plays, an average player plays in your team or a Spurs team because of how they play, because they are physical, they run a lot, they pass, they run. So मुझे लगता है ये बहुत
I will say actually it's a little bit opposite in a sense, because just for example, Gravenberch is a pretty good guy. Okay, very good technically, can hold the ball, can pass the ball. He's also skillful and all that stuff. But he gets exposed like anything because our team. See, you have to understand this thing that our whole team kind of plays together, okay, moves together, presses together, and everything just happens together. And if there's this one guy who's not doing the job exactly at the same rhythm as every other member, he's going to be visible. In a Pep team, since technicalities, you are not moving that much, you're not that industrious, right? You look at this thing, okay, in Pep's game, a lot of time there is a lot of side passing. They have a lot of possession, they'll do side passing. Sometimes they'll be a little bit pressure on the player, but they'll get away because obviously they're technically good at that. But most of the times, even if they are not pressing, let's just say, even if they are not maybe covering the ball and all that, it gets a little bit overlooked because the whole team doesn't work like that. That's not expected out of them.
Correct.
So you don't. But in our
Yours
team, it is
is
expected out
mostly
of you.
based on pressing. Theirs is mostly based on positional play.
It's not just. It's just not pressing. I mean, all I'm saying is
No,
that
I'm just
everybody works
saying
hard. Yeah.
the main.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Yeah. True.
I will
The main
add to
thrust is
what
that. Yeah.
I will add to what
Positional and
Sukar has said कि
Yeah.
चाहिए दोनों. हाँ.
ये तो बोल रहा है ना कि Pep वाली टीम में it will be better because I think in Pep kind of team ना बाकी team makes you look much more better than actually what you are, right? But in
What you
teams
are.
like Klopp and Ange when they play, the whole thing you will see it has to work like a machine. There is no other way to do it right. And if anybody lacks that skill to do it, he cannot fit in that machine. That nobody can cover up for you in that case, right? Because that very intricate passing you have to do, and you have to make sure in City game you will see they are doing passing a lot of time, back
It's a
passing
lot slower.
a lot slower.
Lot
And when
slower.
you play
You can
fast,
say
you
that.
need
And you know,
an example
just
is your Højbjerg, right? Højbjerg is that player which you're talking about. He will work hard, he will run, he will do everything.
Correct.
But at the end, he does not. He's right now he is not good enough for to be a part of that team, and
But
hence
you
he
look
is
at him
so
and you don't exactly say that ये घटिया player है या Spurs के लिए नहीं खेल
घटिया player
सकता.
नहीं है, but वही है
Correct.
कि you will understand. जैसे Eric Dyer was like amazing in training, is what Ange has given कि भाई training में he put every sweat, he's like everything I'm doing, but at the end, at the match day, he's not good enough. So you cannot afford that person to be in that team.
see,
So yeah.
from my point of view, you
Go
know,
ahead.
the thing is that a player is good enough or not good enough based on the team setup that you have. Every team has a different kind of setup.
Correct.
If he's not able to fulfill the role that is given in your particular team, it doesn't matter what other people think about that particular player. For a lot of time, like people hated Henderson, and like even we thought that he was not technical enough, whatever. But his job was not that. Klopp has given him a job. He did that job so remarkably well that we won so many things. So if let's just say you are playing in a team, you're not doing your job, you're not good enough for that particular team. Now, technical on the stuff, you know, it's always good that you see people doing skills and all that stuff. But that kind of game belongs in futsal a lot more than it belongs in football. Football is a physical game, and if you do not have that attribute, that physical attribute, you probably do not belong in the game. That's what I feel.
Yeah. So yeah, we had discussions way out of the box as well, because we talked about Arteta leaving, prospects of Arteta leaving. We talked about Arsenal's Champions League hopes. We talked about Liverpool's chances
and we talked about the last time we talked about Liverpool's statement win. Today we talked about Liverpool's statement loss.
Statement loss. Yeah, that's what happens when you glorify Bournemouth and that win. So yeah. So we also
Chelsea. It's called Chelsea, man. At least don't call Chelsea Bournemouth, man.
No, Bournemouth, you were saying statement win.
That's about the game and much more. But one thing out of the game which we could all see from the table is that nothing is lost for any of the team. It only opens up the race even more. It becomes a three-way race even more, because Arsenal dropped a few points before the start of the year, and they have picked up great points against good teams. So they are also again back in the hunt. So don't count anyone off. I guess the fourth position looks a little bit far-fetched for a title race, but you know, the season until now has sprung a lot of surprises for us.
Not
so
over
let's
until it's
for some
over.
more. At least United fans, couple of United fans in here. We are totally not in the discussion this season, but
yeah,
hope we finish top four. That will feel like a title win. Yeah, go ahead. Manish,
we are hoping to get into fourth. That's it.
Yeah, fourth will feel like a win for us.
United hoping कि ये लोग CL में City वगैरह अच्छा कर दे तो अपना fifth slot भी Champions League
Fifth
को
slot
मिल जाए.
also, because Spurs are already thinking fifth.
Yes.